What's going on, my financial friends? It's your friend Jack here, and today we're going to be talking about the benefits of living frugally or frugality and why I think it's a really good option for most people, even if they think it's a terrible option for them. So this video is by no means, my 100% truth of the world. It's not going to apply to everyone, and I'm not expecting everyone to live frugally. I don't want anyone to make choices they don't want to do, so do what you want to do. However, I'm going to explain why I think frugality is actually a really good option and why I think you should consider it and why you should be more frugal in your life to enhance your life ultimately. So the first reason, which should get everyone's attention, is that you retire a lot earlier. If you can be frugal, if you can spend less and save more and hopefully invest that money that you're saving, which you can follow this channel or a bunch of other YouTube channels around the globe to learn how to invest pretty safely, you can retire very, very early, or a lot earlier, many years earlier than you would if you didn't live frugally. And I'm not saying you can't buy yourself things, but be purposeful with the things you do buy. And in a sense, you are kind of a financial minimalist. You don't buy too many things, and the things you do buy are the things you really need. And you very, very, very rarely will kind of spoil yourself or take an impulse decision and go ahead and act on that, especially if it's going to affect your financial situation. If retiring early didn't get your brain in a scramble, it's not only about retiring early, it's also about having the option to retire early. So maybe you don't want to retire, maybe you want to work a lot. Well, how about you have the option to retire? That's a pretty powerful thing, and just having the option is a pretty darn nice kind of opportunity to have, just sitting there at your bedside knowing you could survive and retire a lot earlier than if you were not to live frugally. So this kind of goes hand in hand with retiring early, but if you're looking just to get rich real quick, living below your means and living frugally is the number one way to do so. It doesn't matter what your income is, the more you save, the less you spend, the quicker that you're going to get rich. Especially if you can put this money into an investment account like a tax-free savings account, or if you're in the States, a Roth IRA, and put it in something like an index fund like an S&P 500 and have it grow and compound annually, you are going to be able to put this money away that you're living and saving frugally and get rich very, very quick, just because you aren't spending. It doesn't matter if you're making $10,000 or $40,000 a year. The more you save and invest, the quicker that you're going to be able to get rich, and living frugally allows you to do that much, much faster. So when you live frugally and you kind of think more about what you actually need and want in your vicinity, whether it be something for entertainment purposes or something just because it's a next trend, you learn when you're frugal what you actually want, the things that actually matter to you, and you kind of get a sense for what actually is going to make you happy and what actually is just kind of something that's just an impulse. It's just like, okay, I want that, but why do you want that? But when you live frugally, you have to ask yourself questions. Why do I actually want that? And you kind of see most of the things that you wanted originally, especially when you weren't being frugal, you didn't even want them, and you realize that after you buy them that I didn't really need this. And that's a very, very important thing to learn, how to differentiate between what you want and what you don't really want but you think you want. And learning that difference does come with time and experience, but you can definitely learn that being frugal, and that is probably the easiest way to do it. So being frugal also makes you think a lot, and it gets you to discover new thoughts, new interests, and different passions for things you wouldn't have discovered otherwise. Living frugally allows you to kind of see the value of your time and where your money's going, and really think about that, and then actually do things that don't cost money. You find new passions, new interests that are free and they're fun and they don't cost any money. One thing that I really like is just hiking, going on hikes, really fun. You get to walk around, go in nature. Definitely a mental recovery kind of thing, helps you mentally. And also, it's absolutely free. It costs $0. You can go to a place. I can walk to a place near me and just walk around the forest, and that's free. And once you learn things that you can do, and you learn new interests and passions, that costs $0, and something for me growing up, which was a really, really big reason why I was able to save a lot of money, is because I didn't spend money. I pretty much just played free games on the internet. When I did play video games, a lot of them are free, or I would play the same one over and over and over and over and over again, especially when I was a little kid, because obviously I couldn't go out and buy my own games. Also, when you're living frugally, you think a lot more about everything. Everything to do with money, but not just money, everything. You will think more strategically and kind of put your eggs in different baskets and look around at what you can do with a dollar, rather than just going ahead and wasting it, or just going ahead and making a quick decision that you didn't really think through. And when you think things through more strategically, not overthinking, but just getting a little bit more strategic and putting some more reasons behind your decisions, you have a higher quality of life in many, many aspects, and you get to become rich and retire early. And another reason why I think being frugal is really fun is because you can make a game out of it. For example, if you have someone who likes to spend money, and you are, they're your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you can kind of make a game out of it. Say you go grocery shopping together, you can create a list and say, okay, we have to stick to this, and you can create a point system. If we go off of this, we lose X amount of points, and the repercussions could be something like, okay, you have to make 4 dinners this week, or something like that. You have to make you have to do something that you usually don't do, for the consequence of going over our budget or getting something that's not on the list. So frugality can be a fun little game. When you put it around, you can kind of make a game out of it, and at the same time you'll be saving money, building your retirement fund up even faster, while having some improvised fun around your relationships, just because you can make frugality into more than just saving money. You can make it into building value and purchasing things with intent, which is very important to living a nice frugal life. Okay, and here's the biggest reason why I like frugality, and that's because when you're a frugal person, you will build up a lot of money. You'll build up savings pretty easily when you're frugal and you're living below your means, even if you're not making that much money. And if there comes a time where you fall on hard times, you have a lot less stress because you have money saved up. You have everything pretty much taken care of. You can kind of live a little bit more carefree knowing you have that money sitting aside if something were to go wrong that was big. And that's a huge burden to overcome. Most people don't have an emergency fund, or don't have the money to cover an emergency expense, especially here in further developed countries. People are spending their money like crazy, and I know saving money is not good for the economy technically, but if you were to enhance your life and you want it to be good for you yourself, saving money is definitely the way to go, and being frugal, living below your means, is definitely going to be a better option than if you were to just go out and spend all your money. Here's another reason why I think being frugal is really good, is that you enjoy things that you purchase, and especially you enjoy things a lot more for a lot longer when you made you put a lot of money down onto something. For example, this phone right here, I have had this phone for about 3.5 years. I don't plan on getting a new one until it breaks, because I really don't like the cost of phones, but I've enjoyed this phone, and I really like this phone because it's paid off. It's been paid off for 1.5 years, and I don't even have to worry about my phone payments. They're so minimal because I don't have the new phone, and that also brings me some joy, some happiness, and I enjoy this phone, and I love this phone because it's pretty much free at this point. It doesn't cost me money. It's not driving my bank account downwards, which is really good, and I'm able to enjoy it knowing that. And when you know that you actually spent some money on this and you want it to last, you really put that extra effort into making good decisions on your purchases, because often when you keep spending your money, most of these things you're buying, you don't even remember them 2 months later. So that's something to really take into account. If you're a big spender, think about, where is this going to get me in 2 months? Do I really need this? And what could I do that would be free version of this, or a light version of this, a discounted version? And yeah, if you can take into account those things, you're also going to be able to, experience those frugality benefits even further. To be honest, if you're someone who's a big spender, you're probably watching this video and thinking, I don't care about any of those things. But trust me, try it out for a month try not spending as much. Try thinking about what you're spending. Try paying yourself first, putting aside 10% of your paycheck into a savings account and no plans of touching it. Build that emergency fund up. Try doing some of these things that frugal people do. Live below your means for a month and see where it can get you. See what you like about it. See what you don't like about it. Then you can even focus on the parts of it you do like, because there are going to be parts you do like, especially when you see your bank account going up and not down, and then get back to me. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been your friend Jack. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep learning, keep earning. Peace out.